Welcome live from the GCNC stand at CMB Cannabis Means Business 2025. Here with the lovely Kristin Beury from Science of the City. How you doing, Kristen? You okay?
Wonderful. Thank you, Dave.
Excellent. So you live here, but you also live in Bordeaux. Tell me about
Well,
how you set
number
it up.
one, live from New York, it's Dave Martin. Thank you at Cannabis Means Business. So I'm a New Yorker. I live part-time here, and I also live part-time in Bordeaux, France, where we provide education on a global level through our educational platform, Science in the City. So we do lots of gatherings here in the state of New York, throughout the United States, but we also are now pioneering cannabis, medical cannabis in Bordeaux, France.
Again, Bordeaux, known for its wine, known for Saint-Emilion, which is just down the road. It's a lovely part of the world. How receptive is France to cannabis right now?
Oh, they're very, I would have to say it's about equal to about 15 years ago here in the States. Very prohibitionist attitude. It's a nascent country, and we're having the first medical cannabis oils approved for 5 conditions starting January 1st, 2026.
Wow. Okay.
And that was not short of a miracle. It had gotten repealed, and now it's finally being pushed through officially through Brussels. Yes.
Because I heard a while back, it was, there was a pilot program, but people had to sacrifice their driver's license.
They did. They absolutely did. And furthermore, they actually had introduced flower into that pilot program and then retracted the flower. And now patients are only allowed to have oils at the moment.
Okay. So is that going to be like edible oils, or is it just going to be vapable? It's not.
So right now it's coming in different formats, and what the final look of the pharmaceutical side will be is to be determined, and also for the medicinal side. And that's the number one reason we're doing this education, is so people, not only the professionals who are the prescribers, but also the patients and caregivers, so they understand what's available to them.
So what do you think? Do you feel like the sort of trajectory for adult use in France?
Oh, I think we're a long way off.
Yeah.
I think because neighboring countries are a little further ahead than France, I do believe it will be in our lifetime, but I don't think it's around the corner. Let's just put it that way.
I feel the same way about the UK. We've got medical. It's still not very well known that we have a medical program. It's still relatively difficult to access. I mean, if you need to have a qualifying condition, which there's quite a long list, but then it's kind of 2 treatments you've tried, and then you have to again, we don't pay for healthcare in the UK. So, but the idea of saying, £200 to join a clinic is, for most people, that's quite prohibitive.
Right.
But I think, again, we're probably 8 to 10 years out for an adult use market in Britain.
Yes, and may I say, in contrast to what you just described, in France, it will and has been being distributed by pharmacies and is covered by socialized medicine in that country. So we're hopeful that it will continue to be that way. I did not know in the UK that you had to pay in order to receive a recommendation or a prescription in your case. Yes.
And then it comes through the post in a little box.
Right.
So it seems very different. But again, I think everywhere has their different challenges. Each country, each state, each locale.
And I'd like to speak to that briefly. In the state of New York, all of the licensed medical dispensaries are armed with a licensed pharmacist. Okay. Also, physicians can make a recommendation, not a prescription. And currently, it is not covered by insurance.
Okay.
I am an advocate and working in the United States on getting medical cannabis business covered by insurance, which they all qualify because they meet medical necessity, and that's part of what we do in our business. And also, we're working on the workman's comp program because every state has a work comp program in case you get injured. And in the state of New York, we have laws that are passed that the first course of treatment can be medical cannabis, but it's something that there's a gap in education about that.
Yeah. Again, it's really interesting. Again, you think in markets where you've got adult use, I think people really need medical, but I think what I understand, again, looking at Canada, looking at Germany, they've had robust medical programs in place first, which has kind of led to not just the kind of stigma, but again, the right sort of regulations and right kind of health kind of concerns are laid in. It kind of builds a strong precedent, I think.
Absolutely. Yes, I think everybody's trying to lead by example. I will say in France, with the oils that they did approve, they were very well researched, and it does make sense why they started out with the oil. But we all know that there's benefits to flower and other types of
Absolutely, but
methods of ingestion.
it's where does that information come from? I was speaking to someone earlier who said, you know, the doctor would make a recommendation, but you know, they kind of didn't have the knowledge to actually determine how much would be useful for a particular patient. So again, does that fall to bud tenders? Is it doctors? There's a real kind of gap, you know. I think that's really interesting. It's like, how do you bridge those two?
Well, I will tell you, I'm working on a project with some other countries to formulate or begin working on a standardization or a global market, meaning patient to medicine, country to laws. And I know, you know, we're all very fragmented right now, but it would be nice for patients to be able to access their medicine no matter where they're traveling.
Yes.
And that's a real big problem today.
No, it is. But again, I feel like it's interesting to see how different markets operate. You know? And again, for me, coming here and sort of seeing, oh, we have a dispensary culture, you know, it doesn't feel incongruous, but at the same time, how does that affect medical? I mean, you don't really always see that just from walking around. You kind of need to kind of dig underneath.
Yeah, and I can give you just one example that we're working on right now. So for the Caribbean, the French Caribbean islands, they're obviously part of, you know, the nation of France.
They're dom-toms.
Right, the dom-toms. So we're doing a conference in the dom-toms with all of the agricultural leaders, because we're in the medical field, and we believe that our health begins at the soil level.
Right.
So we are against chemical farming. We believe that there's an opportunity for the dom-tom islands to be able to participate in growing
100%.
and distributing. And although the laws don't allow it right now, that's what we're really working with the syndicates for.
And I mean, again, I think there's a lot of other sort of countries in sort of the equatorial regions, you know, some more developing countries. It's a real kind of economic opportunity to kind of grow cannabis. And I guess if you've got other nations that are part of France, then you've kind of got that closed market, and that just kind of gives them an advantage as well. They're not just shipping other crops and cannabis as well.
Well, I believe the company Vincent just did a U.S. Virgin Island coming on board with dispensaries, licensure. So we are making progress, but again, it's a lot of education, a lot of how to do it, and not fall into the pitfalls of the particular laws of each country.
This is why we all kind of need to get together at events like this, because so we can learn from each other. What happened in your country didn't work here, but it might work there, or we did this first, you did that, didn't work.
And that's what we're doing in Bordeaux, France. We are coming together. It's quality over quantity. It's key opinion leaders. It's scientists. It's researchers. And that's why we're doing the Bordeaux, France event.
Well, no, and that's coming up in September, is that right?
September 11th. Yep. 11th and 12th. Yes.
Excellent. Well, hope to see you there. But thank you so much for coming on. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
No worries.